superfoods that powerfully clean our arteries, reverse plaque, and boost our heart health naturally. Ancient miracle foods to modern sophisticated nutrients. The power of cleaning the arteries and promoting a healthy blood circulation. So how do we clean arteries and reverse plaque? We have a conventional treatment we call angioplasty. Basically, it's inserting a balloon into the area of the blocked arteries, then expanding the balloon. So when it expands, it causes the plaque surrogate to crack and being slowly fall off from the blood vessels. And then later on, we put a stent into it to kind of like support the blood vessel. Why we need the stent? Because when we remove the debris in this manner, the blood vessel elasticity is not really that good already. It might collapse in the end. That's how it works in the conventional treatment of angioplasty. And this is the risk involved too. Why? We mentioned about the debris of plaque that are being cracked and fall off from the blood vessel. What will happen to this? It will go through a bloodstream and flow with the bloodstream. Of course, in the big arteries, it's no longer a big issue. But when it travels to smaller blood vessels, we call the veins, and the worst when it comes to capillaries, the smallest one, this chunk of debris might stuck there. Just imagine from the blood vessel, from the heart atherosclerosis, you use angioplasty to crack it. All this plaque will fall off from the wall. Then you use a stent to support it. Then that particular blood vessel is considered okay. But the debris will go into the bloodstream and flow towards the whole body. If it goes all the way up to the brain and stuck at the capillaries, you will have a stroke. When it comes to nutrition, these superfoods are renowned in helping to clean arteries, at the same time reverse plaque. How is this done? What's the difference compared to the angioplasty? The whole concept is completely different. By this we call 3R effects. First R is reduce damage, further preventing plaque formation. Then we have the second R, repair back the endothelial wall of the arteries. And third, reinforce by giving back the blood vessel original function, which is expand and constrict the elasticity of the blood vessel, so the entire blood circulation will improve and at the same time strengthen the heart function too. Then we dive deeper into the first R, reduce. Basically, what actually we are reducing here? There are four major things that can cause damage to our arteries and cause plaque formation. The first will be free radicals. As we already know, free radicals is very, very bad for health and it causes a lot of endothelial damage, damaging of arteries. At the same time, oxidation of LDL that actually cause the plaque formation from the very beginning. So we need a lot of antioxidants. Among the renowned antioxidants, including we have polyphenols. The most renowned will be resveratrol. Then we also have flavonoids like proanthocyanidins and lycopene. Among the superfood that has high concentrations of polyphenols and flavonoids include dark chocolate, green tea, a lot of berries, and most renowned will be red wine that made from grapes. Second, we have cholesterol. As we all know, cholesterol is the main contributor to the plaque formation itself. And what are the nutrients found in superfood that can help us reduce or manage our cholesterol level? First and foremost is definitely omega-3 found in fish oil, the EPA and DHA. Then we also have soy lecithin, and lastly we also have fiber, mostly soluble fiber from wood. These are all renowned to lower our cholesterol level, to manage our cholesterol level very effectively. Besides what we just mentioned, there's another superfood that's renowned to lower your cholesterol level. It's called red yeast rice, because red yeast rice contains a very potent nutrient called monocholine K. If you look at the chemical structure of it, it's exactly identical to statin. The statin is the medication prescribed for lowering cholesterol, and statin is a drug. But monocholine K can be found naturally in red yeast rice. The effect is similar because the chemical structure is identical. So that's the reason why the new profound superfood in lowering cholesterol level will be this red yeast rice containing the nutrients monocholine K. Then the third thing we need to reduce will be this blood clot we call thrombus in our blood. Besides reducing platelet using a lot of blood thinner, there's another superfood that you can consider, has been used by the Japanese for centuries. It's actually natto. Natto contains a very active nutrient ingredient. It's actually the enzyme we call nattokinase that can dissolve all these blood clot in our bloodstream effectively. So those who having thick blood, high platelet level, you can actually consider this superfood called natto. Incorporate it into your diet and it will help you to clean the blood, reduce the blood viscosity in a very natural way. And it's been proven and it's been taken by the Japanese for centuries. Then lastly, the fourth thing we need to reduce in our blood is actually a nutrient. It's a kind of protein, but when it's elevated, it will cause damage to the blood vessel and also can cause plaque formation. This particular nutrient protein found in the blood we're mentioning is called homocysteine. So when you have high homocysteine level, you are prone towards blood vessel damage at the same time plaque formations. And how to reduce this homocysteine naturally is actually very simple by having sufficient vitamin. What are the vitamins that we require here is vitamin B complex, especially B6, B9, and B12. So B9 is folic acid, and then B12 will be cobalamin, and at the same time B6 too. With vitamin B6, we can actually convert homocysteine back to cysteine through a process called transsulfuration. At the same time, we also can convert elevated homocysteine back into methionine by using B9 and B12 through a methylation process. So that's the reason why vitamin B complex, especially B6, B9, and B12 is very important in the control of homocysteine level, preventing damage to the blood vessel and preventing plaque formation. After we are done with the first R, reducing free radicals, cholesterol, blood clot, thrombus, and lastly homocysteine, we come to the second R. Second R will be on repair. Before we can actually repair the blood vessel that has been damaged, then we need to do a very important thing. We need to clear off the area because a damaged blood vessel will attract a lot of debris, a lot of things that can sediment at the area and cause further damage. And one of it will be calcium. That's the reason why damaged blood vessel can calcify. A lot of calcium sediments will stuck there and cause the entire blood vessel to be hardened. So the first thing we need to clear off all this calcium from sedimenting at the area. That's the reason why we need this nutrient. So we need these three nutrients to clear off calcium from depositing in the arteries, which is magnesium, vitamin D3, and K2. You can get it from leafy vegetables and then from poultry and even from eggs and dairy too. Here I want to introduce to you a very powerful superfood that has been used for centuries, which is garlic. Yes, it's the garlic you found in the kitchen has been used for a lot of different recipes. Yes, the same garlic. Garlic has been used for centuries like natural antibiotic to kill germs. But when it comes to blood vessel, the active ingredient found in garlic is actually allicin, a very powerful nutrient that helps you lower blood pressure. Because we know that the areas that's having plaque, the blood vessel is already weakened. So when the pressure goes up, it will just bleed. So lowering blood pressure is very important, and garlic definitely can do that. Then lastly, for the second R, which is repair, you must have sufficient vitamin C. A very basic vitamin, but it's very, very important. Vitamin C here is more on the production of collagen, the restructuring, the repair of the blood vessel. Because blood vessel is made from protein, made from collagen, and it requires a lot of vitamin C for the rebuilding, the repairing part of the blood vessel. So for the second part of repair, requires quite a lot of nutrients to prevent further damage. The first will be removing calcium from the area to prevent calcification of the blood vessels, including magnesium, vitamin D, and vitamin K. Then garlic will be a very good superfood here that reduces blood pressure in the area. And lastly will be vitamin C that strengthens the repair, that promotes the repair of the blood vessel as fast as it should be. Then we go to the third R, whereby it's reinforce. The main function of a blood vessel is to expand and constrict to bring blood circulation throughout the whole body. So for a narrow blood vessels, arteries that are already having plaque formations, anything that causes vasoconstriction, the further constriction of the blood vessel can be risky. And what are the factors, what are the things that cause vasoconstriction? It includes our stress, and then coffee, tea that contain caffeine, and then lastly will be nicotine smoking. The only thing that we want right now to repair, to reinforce the function of the blood vessel is the opposite. We want vasodilation. We want our blood vessel to expand back so the blood circulation can be back to normal. So what are the nutrients that can cause vasodilations? Of course, most renowned that is not so good for our health is alcohol. There's another one that is very important. It's called nitric oxide. These ingredients will cause the blood vessel to dilate naturally. So whatever nutrients, whatever superfood that can help our body produce nitric oxide is very, very important in the third step of reinforce, giving back the blood vessel this original elasticity so it can function optimally. The first and the most well-known nutrients that cause vasodilation will be arginine. It's a kind of protein. Okay, basically you can get it from the meat and then from the poultry. It's a source of protein. It's called arginine. And arginine has been renowned, has been very well studied that it can help our body, especially blood vessel, to produce the release of nitric oxide that helps in regulating our blood pressure and the blood flow in the arteries. The second superfood I want to introduce to you will be a fruit that is renowned for its antioxidant properties, pomegranate. Pomegranate also contains punicalagins, whereby it's a very active ingredient that can promote the release of nitric oxide. So for the reinforced part of the blood vessel, we do recommend you taking this new superfood called pomegranate. And lastly, all the dark leafy vegetables also contain nitrates that our body after digestion can convert it into nitric oxide to help back our blood vessel to regain back its original elasticity, to reinforce its functions so the blood vessel will be clean and can function optimally. So you can see that all these superfoods works differently compared to angioplasty, whereby it works with the 3R effect. The first is reduce by reducing cholesterol, reducing free radicals by reducing homocysteine and reducing thrombus, blood clot in our bloodstream, so to prevent further plaque formations. And then the second R will be on repair by giving our blood vessel chance to repair by diverting all this calcium from the area so the area will not be hardened, calcified. At the same time, vitamin C and garlic will be able to help the repair part of the blood vessels to regain back the endothelial functions. And lastly, for the reinforce will be on nitric oxide productions. Anything that can produce nitric oxide in the bloodstream will help the blood vessel to dilate. So the more the blood vessel can dilate, the function of the blood vessel will be back to normal. And among these, the most popular, well scientifically researched will be arginine. It's a kind of protein. Then we have the pomegranate. And lastly, dark leafy vegetables that contain nitrates too. And then lastly, how to take it. Because we all know this superfoods is food, contains high volume, high concentration of the nutrients that we require. So how we take it is also very important. Let us start with the first on this antioxidants. Just now we mentioned about these polyphenols and flavonoids. You can get it from different sources, like from green tea, from dark chocolate, from berries, and one of the sources will be from grapes. So I want to ask, if you want to get high concentration of polyphenols and flavonoids found in wine that is made from grapes, you should drink red wine or white wine. Both also made from grapes. You should be drinking red wine or white wine. The answer, quite clear, is red wine, because the nutrients, the polyphenols, resveratrol, and then the flavonoids, the proanthocyanidins, is found from the grapes, yes, but not the flesh, not the juice. It's actually from the seed and the skin of the grapes. So red wine utilizes everything from the grapes to ferment it to get the red wine. White wine is only using the flesh. That's why you will not have the antioxidants we mentioned earlier on in white wine. So if you want to drink wine, yes, only red wine, but moderately, because alcohol found in it is not good for our blood vessels. So I prefer you eating grape. But remember, don't peel off the skin, don't throw away the seed. You have to consume that together. And the seed don't just swallow, you have to chew it. After you chew it, it tastes a little bit bitter. Yes, that bitterness is the antioxidant bioflavonoids. Okay, so it's very important. If you want to take grapes, you have to eat the skin together with the seed in order you get the polyphenol, resveratrol, and the flavonoids, the proanthocyanidins, that is very, very good for our blood vessels. Then for bioflavonoids, besides taking from red wine, you actually can get it from citrus fruits too, including lemon, tangerines, or even grapefruit. So which part of the fruit that contains the highest amount of bioflavonoids, the strong antioxidants, is very good for your blood vessel? Is it the pulp? Can I just squeeze it out and drink the fruit juice? No. The highest concentration of bioflavonoids is found in the outer part of the fruit, which is actually the white color pit of the fruit, not the pulp. So you have to eat the outer part of the fruit itself, the white color layer. Just remove the outer peel, then you have a very thin layer of the white color pit. That layer that you chill it tastes a little bit bitter. Yes, that is the area that contains the highest amount of bioflavonoids. Like we mentioned earlier on, bioflavonoids taste a little bit bitter. It's good for your health, so consume that. So that's why there's a saying, bitter roots use sweet fruits. That's why all this bitterness found in the fruits itself is a good thing, because from that bitterness itself, you get all the antioxidants, all the good nutrients, the polyphenol, the bioflavonoids, and then polycarligans from the pomegranates, all from the bitter part of the fruits. So next time, don't remove all the skin, all the white peach part and stuff. You remove all the nutrients together too. So you might get the sweetness of the fruit, but you will not get the beneficial part of the superfood that we are mentioning here today. Then we're going to ask the next questions. Bioflavonoids also found in tomato. The flavonoids found in tomato is called lycopene, and a lot of study has been proven that lycopene is also very, very good for our blood vessels, preventing all these oxidation of LDL, plaque formations. So lycopene is actually the color of the tomato that is red. So for tomato itself, if you want to have more lycopene, more of this antioxidant, do you eat raw tomato or you take tomato paste that you cook? You eat it raw or cook? Raw or cook if you want to have lycopene. More of these antioxidants, bioflavonoids called lycopene. Do you eat it raw or you eat it cook? You eat raw tomato like in salad, or you take tomato sauce that has been cooked? The answer is tomato sauce. You might argue, hey, why? I thought all these nutrients you need to eat raw to have the best bioavailability. Yes, certain nutrient is true, but for lycopene it's different. Lycopene, when it's given heat, more will be generated. Actually, lycopene is the color of the tomato, it's the redness of the tomato. You will notice that raw tomato is not that red, but the longer you cook it, the redness will be more visible, and the redness is actually the lycopene. So lycopene is heat stable, so you don't have to worry. So eat more tomato sauce. Okay, your pizza can have more tomato puree. It's good because it contains high content of this lycopene. It's a very strong antioxidant that is very good for your blood vessel and your heart. Then we move on to the next superfood we mentioned just now about garlic. So we eat garlic raw or cooked in order to have the best allicin, the nutrients found in garlic that can help you repair your blood vessels, but it's excellent for our blood vessel, reducing thrombus formation, reducing all this blood clot. Is very good, reducing blood pressure. Is all the effects of allicin found in the garlic. So we eat garlic raw or cook? Raw or cook? Answer? Let me think. The answer is raw garlic. Oh, but we use it for cooking, then how? You don't have much of the allicin. The content found in garlic that helps in lowering blood pressure and in our artery repair itself is basically called allicin. Allicin is from when you chop the garlic or smash it that time. Allicin found in the garlic will be converted into allicin, and this allicin is the active components or nutrients that actually help in our blood vessel. So it's very important if you want to have the garlic to be beneficial for your blood vessel, especially clearing plaque and then reducing blood pressure, you need to eat it raw and not the whole swallow by itself. You need to chop it finely or smash it. Only then the allicin will be formed into allicin, and this allicin is the main nutrients that will help in your blood vessel health. Just now we mentioned about another food that has been taken by the Japanese for centuries. It's very good for our cardiovascular system, good for our heart, blood vessel, and our blood. It's called natto. It's actually a fermented beans You look at the photo, you look at it, it's very slimy. Yes, and usually they eat with rice. So my question, for natto, you eat it raw or cook? Okay, just now we have the lycopene from tomato, you need to eat it cooked. Then we have the garlic, you need to eat it raw for the allicins. But how about natto? So we eat raw or we eat it cooked? Raw or cooked? The answer is raw. Why? Because when we have this natto, it's actually a fermented food. And when this natto being fermented, we have this specific enzyme found in it. We call it nattokinase that can actually reduce or actually dissolve all these thrombus or blood clot in the bloodstream. So for the enzyme to be effective, you cannot overheat it because enzyme is protein. Overheat it, you have denaturation, and then the enzyme will not be effective anymore. Any heat around 50 to 60 degrees above, or boiling or frying or cooking it, you will denature the enzyme nattokinase found in natto. It will be useless. So if you want to take natto to keep your blood clean, to reduce the viscosity of the blood itself, you need to eat it raw. Okay, straight from the container. Then you just mix with anything that you want. Okay, how's the taste? It depends on individuals. Some they like it, some they don't like it. But the most important part is natto is the superfood, contains nattokinase, the nutrients that really effective in lowering your blood viscosity. So today we talk about so many different superfoods that can help us to clear our arteries, reverse plaque, and boost our heart health. From the ancient garlic usage to the natto by the Japanese. Then we have a lot of fruits that contain a lot of antioxidants. The part of the fruits is very important. Like grape, you need to eat the seed together with the skin. It is very important to have all the nutrients, antioxidants we mentioned earlier on. And then a lot of nutrients too have been proven. The recent one will be like arginine that can strengthen our blood vessel by producing more nitric oxide. These are the things that we already seen and proven scientifically helps so much in our blood circulation. But you might say that so many superfoods to consume. Just incorporate it into your lifestyle because its food is very simple. But some people say that I heard some intermittent fasting also helps in clearing blood vessel of plaque. Is it true? If that's the case, I recommend you to watch the next video. Heart attack danger from intermittent fasting. Are you at risk? Thank you for watching and hope to see you in the next video. Remember to like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell for similar video in the future. Till the next video, see you, all the best, and take care. Bye bye.